What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've made a video connecting with you guys, and if you're new here, my name is Sarah. Welcome to Ancient Esoterica. This is my YouTube channel and my platform where I just kind of share some stuff from my human experience, what I'm learning, what I'm studying, to basically just bridge this ancient body of esoteric knowledge and wisdom that is becoming increasingly more mainstream and available and relevant to us at this time. You know, teachings like astrology and tarot and archetypes and all that esoterica. Bridging that with this modern age and this age of information and science and, politics. So without further ado, let's jump into, that rhymes, today's video. So I was just watching a YouTube video myself, and I was really reflecting on just beliefs and the programs and the general beliefs that I hold coded within my being that are just filtering my reality all the time, basically my perceptions, which come, seeded from beliefs. And so one thing that I have really been working on healing at this time is, how do we heal something that was once true, in filtered through the lens of logic and reasoning, something that logically is true, but is no longer true in our current reality. But we're still kind of playing out the echo from that previous truth that wasn't entirely true, was only logically true. And so how do we let go of this and how do we rewire it? So the specific belief that I am working through personally, to give an example of this, is, so I was in a motorcycle accident almost 8 years ago that left me physically disfigured and burned. And these burn scars were very, jarring and frightening back in the day when I first sustained my injuries, especially on my face and my hands and my arms. They've since healed a lot and they're still noticeable, however, not to the extent that they were years ago. So specifically, the belief and perception that I have been working through is that I'm scary looking and that my skin and my disfigurement is scary, specifically to like men and children. Which were two archetypes that really put me in a vulnerable spot back in the day. Because when I was first burned, I was only 21 years old. I had just lost my boyfriend, so I was re-entering the dating scene completely disfigured. And you just wounded in every possible way, physically, mentally, emotionally. So that really imprinted this belief that I am scary, I intimidate men don't like me, and dating is impossible for me. And I have noticed that even though I've been in a relationship for 6 years, the echo of the trauma from this past era 7-8 years ago is still relevant today. And even, the original point with being scary to children, I think I mentioned that. That's the main thing I've been working through is, just people just not being normal and people kind of being a little spooked when they notice my scars and when they just notice all of that. And now, like I said, years ago, when my accident first happened, I had some really horrible experiences with children, and I was really scary to these young minds who had never seen something like me in real life. And so, logically, I created this belief and this perception that I am scary, I scare people, I should just avoid mainstream circles, avoid crowds, avoid kids, and just avoid dating and, trying to be attractive or any of that stuff. So this logically seemed very true because I saw myself and logically saw, wow, I am scary. I saw the way people were reacting to me out in the world further reaffirmed this belief that I am scary, I am just going to be rejected. And so it's been an interesting journey over these past 8 years because I've gone through spouts where I've been very confident and I've been screw it, everyone look at my scars, super confident, super courageous, yada, yada, yada. And then I've gone through spouts where I completely spiral and I'm I am a disease to the society, like, don't look at me, I deserve to be dead, whatever, like, just every possible negative thought loop one could have about their self-perception. I have been down that rabbit hole. And I've gone into them, it feels like on purpose, as a part of my soul journey, so as to not reject myself and to just fully accept myself. Because the more I reject myself, the more that rejection is really just reflected outside. And the more I'm just like, you know what, I'm just chilling, I'm confident, I'm courageous, I'm like a part of this human experience too, I get that beauty radiates outward. So basically, one thing that I have been learning through all of this is that beauty is cultivated within. You know, all those sappy quotes and those self-help shit. It's true. Beauty is, you know, in the eye of the beholder. Beauty radiates from within. It's not caused, it is. And I really see that my outfits, my general like appearance, and the way I am received is literally freaking reflected on how comfortable I feel in my own skin, how beautiful or just like authentic I feel, and just how much I fuck with my outfit. Like, I love fashion, and when I am fucking with a good outfit, whew, doors getting opened left and right, coffee's being bought for me, for like miracles left and right. Florence Given has said, oh fuck, I'm gonna butcher this quote, but this is one of my favorite quotes. A good outfit is literally a spell, and it will literally like move mountains and manifest magic in your life. But I digress. Back to the original point. So how do we heal something that was once logically true, that we could logically see through our lens of logic and reasoning? Yes, this is a truth, but it is not serving us, and it's disempowering, and it's actually no longer true. How do we work through that, and how do we get past the stickiness and the just of the logical mind to make changes and to shift our self-perception so we can have better interactions with people, so we can be received and perceived the way we deserve to be, which is in our authentic essence. Yeah, I was going to go on a whole other tangent about societal standards, but we'll save that. So I have noticed within my own life that obviously every one of us, we choose the perceptions and the beliefs that we want to uphold. So I could go out into the world today and I could choose to uphold this perception that I am scary, no one likes me, everyone's rejecting me, I scare people, I make people uncomfortable, I should just stay home. I could go out into the world running that program, and I can really choose that that's true for me, and I can choose to see that it is logical. However, this is where the delusion, and this is where the intuitive and the more creative and just like, you could say spiritual side of us can really come in handy, because yes, logically, this might be a thing. We might still be able to uphold this as true if we really try and if we really want to. However, the only way we're going to get ourselves out of this little mind trap, this like negative belief that is just keeping us in this limiting, negative, disempowering reality, is to get delusional and to dream a new dream, visualize a new possibility, see a new reality, and start to see through that logic that, like, yeah, logically, might have spooked some kids, might have got really fucking horribly rejected by men back in the day, but I did just date someone for 6 years. Great relationship, great attraction, you know, all that jazz. I have been flirted with by men. I have, and beyond the male validation and attention aspect of it, which, you know, I feel like we all have to heal. I'm a woman, female-bodied, attracted to men, so that's through my lens, you know, whatever you are attracted to. When we seek that attention and validation outside of us, automatically we're going to have to go within and see all the places where we're rejecting ourselves and we're not, like, fully, you know, fucking with ourselves. And yeah, this is like a whole like side tangent. I really want to like bring it back to the point. It's not about the like, you know, being pretty or being like, you know, chosen or whatever. It's more so like you can feel when someone's like, oh, whoa, like having a reaction to your appearance. Like one can feel that. And that can further reaffirm this logic of like, yeah, I should just go hide in a cave and just write my books. And, you know, like literally do what I am doing right here, hiding in my little circle room, my lookout tower, my literal fucking tower. But I don't want to, this part of me knows that there is so much more to life out there. And even if I do get rejected, even if I do get denied, even if I freak people out and I notice that icky reaction, you know, I have to just be good either way. And the only way to start being good with whatever happens is dismantling that logic. And we do that through accepting it and allowing it. And really just accepting that, like, yeah, you know, people are going to notice the scars on my chin over, you know, my pretty blue eyes sometimes. And that has nothing to do with me. Has everything to do with the situation. Like, whatever, it doesn't even matter. Fuck it. And I just feel like I wanted to share this because so many of us spend so much of our time, our energy, and our like life's journey worrying about how we're perceived, worrying about being chosen, seeking that validation and that attention. And for what? You know, like we think that's going to make us happy, but is it? No, it never does. You know, look at all the married couples and all the people who pursue that path. They're freaking miserable. And I'm not saying like marriage is a trap, you know, marriage makes you miserable. No. But when you just like marry like the pretty girl, but you can't actually fucking talk to her. Or when you choose a guy just because he's hot and he makes a lot of money, but he actually freaking sucks as a personality. Or you don't actually connect with someone and your beliefs and values aren't actually in integrity. You just want to be chosen by someone. That entire relationship is going to just completely dismantle because it's not actually rooted in love. It's just ego. It's egos being egos, wanting to be hot and wanting to be chosen. Anyway, that was just like a stupid opinion. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to talk about, I don't know. My main point is that we have to get a little delusional and we have to lean into our infinite spirit that dwells within us. We cannot focus only on that because then we wind up becoming completely ungrounded, delusional, and rejecting our human experience. I have been there. We are not just a soul. We are also a meat suit and we have to accept and love it and nurture it. But to get out of that lens of logic and reasoning that like, oh, nobody likes me, I'm ugly, you know, when we really are just like, but logically this is true to me and we're clinging to it and people are trying to say, no, you're beautiful. And you're like, no, I'm not. Like, we have to just put down the fight to be right, to be whatever logic and reasoning we're trying to uphold in the moment and just like, let it all go. Just shift, just change, you know? If I live my life rooted in this belief that I created back in like 2018, that like men don't like me, I scare men, I like, you know, in children, friends, like if I just completely reject my human experience because I was rejected by a select few 7 years ago, what the fuck? Like, what am I doing? You know, like seriously, I look completely differently. I look completely different now than I did back then. And I invite you to kind of reflect, if you want to, go into this yourself. All these negative self-perceptions, I guarantee they were formed in like middle school or high school, if you're a girl. And shit, I know this stuff really pertains to men too, because men struggle with their self-perception too. I've seen it. And it's wild because a lot of the times the things we reject ourselves about, other people actually like don't mind at all or like it or think it's cute, you know? So just reflect. These self-rejecting perceptions, are they really true? Maybe they are through this lens of logic, but can they be redefined? Get a little delulu, get a little, you know, like infinite spirit wandering, infinite potential, and just like, you know, see what you find. I have found that the more I have leaned into just reframing, you know, and just really like fucking with myself. Like, oh, I have a very diverse music taste. I love my sense of fashion. I have a lot to talk about. I like to nerd out about mythology and stories and fantasies and whatever. The more we can hype ourselves up through the delusions, through the like, it's just, get out of the logic. Get out of the like, oh, it's true, like I am like scrawny so I can just like, and too skinny to wear leggings so I just can't. Bitch, if you like wearing leggings, wear leggings. Fuck it. Who cares how you're perceived? If you like it, they're gonna like it. Going back to that original point that I made, like friggin', I wanted this video to be 5 minutes and it's 15 minutes. This is a story of my life. But the original point I made like 5 minutes ago where I was like, when I fuck with my outfit, when I feel good in my skin, I'm always received well. Doors are open for me, coffees are bought, you know. Invite that energy in. Get a little delusional, you know. Because it's all, at the end of the day, it's about your perception of yourself. And if you're letting that perception get run by these logical beliefs that, yeah, maybe they were at one point true, and a little bit. But even then, you could delusion yourself out of those beliefs and enter a more positive reality. Because this is really about just those negative, disempowering beliefs and perceptions that are just tearing us down, stifling us, keeping us limited. You know, the beliefs and the perceptions that just keep us locked in the house because we just like, fuck it, you know, what's the point? That's what we need to reframe, because we're all here chilling, you know. Mr. Bones here will say, ain't none of us are getting out of this alive. We're all going to end up like him one day. So like, what the hell are we doing? You know, like, why wait? Why wait to wear that cool outfit? Why wait to go to the rave? Why wait to try the psychedelics? Why wait? Why wait to tell your crush how you feel? Why? You know? And that's all we got. Just checking out my notes, see if there's anything else I wanted to add. Yeah, I don't know. To add a little astrological end note here. We just moved through a very powerful eclipse window, which was this window of a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse in Pisces and Virgo. And this Pisces and Virgo axis can really, really touch on our self-perception, the way we see ourselves, self-esteem, ooh, I'm getting chills, overall, all those things. Because Virgo, the Virgin, can be very analytical and OCD, obsessive, like, and can be very, very negative in one's self-perception if one really doubles down on that perfection and comparison. But the flip side is that really carefree, like sensual, just put together, flowing, rooted, grounded female essence. And that's like a lot of what I am talking about. Like I said, I am a female, talking a lot about these like female, oh, I want to be pretty things. And Virgo can just like tie a lot into that. Not just for females and female bodies, just again, for the sake of what we are talking about. And so, yeah, literally yesterday we had this full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, which really touched on our inner insecurities and our self-esteem to really extract that like rot and the parasite within us that may have been upheld through logic. That like logically, yeah, maybe once you were scary. Yeah, maybe once you were like freaking ugly. I don't know, whatever. Pull out that parasite. It's feeding because you're feeding it through the logic. Let it go. Just fuck around and find out. You know, don't end up like Mr. Bones here, you know, and the only thing you really did was like worry about what everybody thought about you your whole life and just like not have fun. Mr. Bones says go have fun today. All right, I'm hopping off here before I tangent for another 20 minutes. Send you guys so much love, peace, namaste.